This review has been approved by Lord Carnage.
Banished from Earth Classic Game Room broadcasts from the Intergalactic Space Arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything. Welcome to Classic Game Room, where I have a soccer game from the future, World Cup Italia 90, which, judging by that guy's future mullet on the cover, must be 2090. That's a pretty sweet mullet. You see that? There's no way that's from the past. Future mullet technology witnessed right here on Classic Game Room, World Cup Italia 2090. For the Sega Master System, I have an advanced copy of this game for review purposes only. Nah, I'm just kidding. I've also enjoyed it for fun, because it is fun. It plays like an old school soccer game from the late 80s or early 1990s. Remember those days? Back when the Sega Master System was popular the first time around in 2090, it will see a massive resurgence and become the most popular game system in the universe. The Sega Master System, which is why they have the exclusive rights to World Cup Italia 2090 with these awesome throwback graphics. And we get West Germany again. That's right, remember the future when they build the new island off the eastern shore of Canada? Well, this game has them. And as you might imagine, it's the greatest place for beer and bacon in the universe. Sadly, they forgot to include North and South Germany, but in the future they're at war with the independent states of Hawaii. Now that was a pretty good goal right there. I scored that, and that's how you have to score in this game. Pass the ball in front of the goalie and shoot it in. Kind of like hockey, except they call it soccer. Or football in a lot of other places. I think their goalie was asleep on that one. This is actually a pretty good old school style soccer game with predictable friendly controls. There's a D-pad and two buttons. One of them passes, the other shoots to score. And there's no penalties in the future. It's about time they did away with them. I like the music that plays during the game, and it looks pretty good on the Master System with those throwback graphics. In the future, people get sick of their fancy game systems and computers that break and require DLC and in-app purchases for everything, so they all go back to the old school Master System, which still works. And has some pretty slick tunes. Hear that keyboard? You don't get that on the PlayStation 15. Yugoslavia versus West Germany. This is like the Whalers versus the Nordiques, who are co-Stanley Cup champions in 2090. I personally think they got a lucky shot, but defense is tricky in this game. You only have one option. You can kick at them, and occasionally you'll get the ball away, but more often than not, they just run away from you. You don't really ball handle in this game. You just run, and if you're a good team like Brazil, nobody ever gets the ball away from you. So basically, if you want to play as your favorite team and your favorite team isn't any good, you're doomed if you're playing a far better team. The only way to really enjoy this is to play two equally balanced teams. There's also a two-player option, locally of course, because in the future the internet is solely used for Netflix. I've got to give the Americans some credit here. They're doing really well in 2090, mostly because of their goaltender, who is, of course, a cyborg with 15 arms and laser beam eyes. But Argentina's good, they do get him in the end. This is a pretty cool game for the Master System. It plays well, it looks good. If you like old school style soccer or football games, check this one out, World Cup Italia 90, which was sent to the show by Mark in Rangeville, Australia. Thank you, Mark. How did you get this game from the future? Is it because Australians can travel into the future? In 2090, their continent transforms into a giant robot and flies away, rocking out to Midnight Oil. It's a beautiful future we can all look forward to, assuming you're not killed by the robots, insects, and aliens in the mid-2080s.